Hi guys, welcome in. It's a struggle because I am trying to get used to the fact that I'm going to be on here most of the time instead of the other place. And you know how when you start doing something for the first time, it feels strange and alien and you're not really comfortable with it? Yeah. So I just gotta wait for myself to get through the funk. We'll get there. Eventually. Well, I guess that's what we've got. Hi, Sarah. I don't know if you're even gonna really hear that. Can you guys hear that? I'm trying to drown out the machines in my kitchen. Well, because you can't use copyright. Because they don't want to pay for copyright. Because let's be real, that's what it is. They don't want to pay the royalty fees. So we suffer. Yeah, by the time I put that over there, I can't even hear it. All I can hear is my dishwasher. Alright. And it's not too loud, right? I'm trying to balance out the shh over there. Because I know it's probably what you guys can hear predominantly. Oh, so to give you guys idea of what I've been making, I've gotten a lot of compliments recently on these. So since I'm not one to make duplicates and mass produce things, not my style, I figured I could offer them in different stones. So let me show you. I made some in amethyst. A little off kilter. There you go. So those are the amethyst. And I did some in prehnite. A lot of earrings on my table and they're all getting stuck together. So these are the prehnite. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much, Mufti. And I started a pair of blue lace agates, but I have not finished them, so they don't have any hooks yet. But I have a nice arrangement of colors going. And then these are loosely based off of that. These are rose quartz. And I know they look really bulky because of that middle bead, but they're actually not that heavy. They're fairly, they're reasonable. So yeah, definitely not my style of music, but we can run with it for now until I've got to find something better though. I may have to start paying some sort of subscription, but I think it might be worth it if I'm on here a lot. Thank you. So yeah, I didn't want to make an exact replica of mine because like I said, these were a personal anyway, personal project. So, but I figured making them in different stones would make it not exactly identical. I also have malachite and howlite, so they'll come in a deeper green, they can come in white. I don't really have any chip rose quartz, so I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with those yet. But yeah, I just figured I would show you guys some stuff that I worked on while I was hoping I could wait for some more people to come in. I mean, it does happen occasionally. People will want, you know, the same items. I've had people ask me, I saw this that you made for so-and-so, can you make me one? And I'll let them know, I can make you something similar, and, you know, we can do maybe a similar pattern or shape, but I don't like to do replicas. I've only ever had one customer who specifically asked me, I need you to make more than one of that bracelet, and it's because they were giving them to family members, so it was for them to all stay connected to one another. That I totally understand, and at that point you're asking me for a custom. You're just asking me to make it more than once, so I can do that, because that's, yeah, they're all unique and they're all gonna have their own characteristics and traits, fractures, inclusions, color variation, and all that stuff. But yeah, you'll never see me sitting here making, like, you know, multiples, unless it's for like charity. I will do that with charity items, so items that I'm making and then I'm basically donating the proceeds for that. So like blue bracelets that I'm making, and the yellow bracelets that I'm making, and I'm donating the proceeds for those I can even change a little bit depending on who I'm making it for, just so it's not identical to all the other ones I've made. But I do have like a basic pattern for those, so they all kind of look similar, but that's not the same. It's just more of a cost effectiveness to make sure that I keep the cost low. Hi Vicky, I'm so glad that you're here. I noticed that you saw my message this morning. I appreciate you letting me know that you've seen it. Just, you know, making sure that you respond to it, and that way I don't have to worry about, does so-and-so know if this is my plan. Helps me out a lot, because I get scatterbrained all on my own, having to worry about, oh god, this is awful music. I apologize, everybody. I'm doing the best I can with what I have. So yeah, this music situation drives me a little bonkers, but I will say that's one thing I do miss about the other platform is they're a little bit more liberal about their policy on what kind of music you play. Right, it's just making sure that somebody's seen it so they know about it. I'm hoping that other people will see it and that they'll understand, because I don't want people to think that I've abandoned them. I mean, unless I actually do abandon you, and you will feel it, because my presence is known when I'm there, and it is known when I'm not. So I'm that type of person. You're gonna know when I'm there, you're gonna know when I'm not there. So I don't want anybody to get it confused and think that I've X'd them out or whatever. That's... So I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Oh, I'd appreciate that, Mufti. Thank you. Yeah. I'm really more worried about, say, making sure that Lou, Shauna, if Shauna's here, making sure that she sees that. Just people that I know that that particular message would, you know, be valid for, that might allude to. I think coming on here might be better at night. I don't know if this place necessarily gets as much traffic during the day as the other one does. I feel like during the daytime the other one has a bit more traffic, but I feel like this one tends to be more popular at night for some reason. Oh, you guys let me know if I'm wrong on that one. But that's just the general feel that I get, is that nighttime might be better on here. Or later in the day. Yeah, and I don't like that. That's one thing that I have a hard time with, is not being able to see that kind of logistics. I miss that when I'm on here. But either way, I do need to have more videos. Yeah, and I know that that's what it takes. It takes time. It's just I've gotten used to it, so now I have to go through the uncomfortableness of not being used to this, and that sucks. It sucks to not be comfortable. But it's a part of growth. If I can tell other people that, I can tell myself that. It's still good advice. It's still sound advice. And I may never be one of those streams that has a lot of people in them, and that's actually okay, because at the end of the day, I do this because I understand that certain people will be in certain places at certain times for me to work with. So it may not be that I need to work with, you know, 30 or 40 people all at once, and that's fine. Yeah, it's an awkwardness. It's like when you start going to school for the first time. You know, when you make the jump from like elementary to middle and then middle to second, you always feel really awkward and out of place at first. I just gotta find my rhythm. Although this music's not gonna help, so I definitely need to do something different with that. So Mufti, I appreciate you sending me any information on that. All right, so I have not started reading cards. I wanted to start with showing off the earrings that I've been making. Like I also said, I've been making some lapis and yellow jade bracelets. Those are charity items. The proceeds for that are donated to public broadcasting stations, NPR, and the ACLU. So if anybody is interested in helping out a good cause and getting something pretty for themselves, let me know. Hi, Lucy. Yeah, no, that's okay. Oh, instant message. Oh, I was worried about this. High Priestess, in my power. Connected, higher self, feminine energy. I needed that little pat on the back this morning. I was agonizing over making sure that I had my special herbal tea, because it really does help get me in the right place. Love you, Stephanie. And guys, Stephanie said she might go live after me. So if you have the time, stick around. because I'm definitely going to hang out in the chat and body double with her. I won't be good for much of anything other than body doubling anyway, because, you know, reads and stuff like that usually take a lot out of me. Last time we didn't get so many readings done, but that's okay. That's fine. We actually dove into some really deep topics, spirituality-wise, so I enjoyed that, because I don't get to talk about that much here at home. I talk about it so much that I end up getting, like, drowned out by my son and my husband. They're like, yeah, we get it. We know. You've told us this before. So I don't really get to talk about it that much. So it's really nice to be able to talk about it with other people. So like you guys did last time, if you have questions, if there's a topic you would like to discuss, just throw it out there. I'm open. And I'm also ready to start taking reading requests if anybody has any. Most of you are familiar. Oh, absolutely. So did you know you can make your own sigils? Yeah, you can make your own sigils. You don't have to just go by, you know, one specific one. Yes, please. Is that for a reading? Or is that for making a sigil? Ugh, my teeth are bad. All right, so when it comes to making your own sigils, everybody has certain things that resonate with them. So specifically patterns and shapes. So for example, if you are, let's say you're a Christian, the cross is a symbol that resonates strongly with you. You can use that and turn that into a personal sigil. Let's say you have always loved hearts. Hearts have always resonated with you, that particular shape. You can use that and turn that into a sigil. It's reading, okay. But yeah, you can actually take symbols like runes, for example, like the ones that I have on my face. And you can take ones that have different meanings, and if you want to make one character that kind of encompasses all those meanings, you can actually design your own sigil using those shapes and patterns. It's really just more about making sure that it flows and that it's not fighting itself and that the lines aren't overlapping. What's important is that you're able to see all the different shapes and concepts of what you want in your sigil. Yeah, so for example, if I wanted to combine my truth sigil with my community, humanity, mankind coming together sigil, I would just maybe overlap the one straight line on either side and then have the two smaller lines going off to the side. So you would see like the basic M, but then you would have like the two lines coming off, and that would represent combining those two sigils. And then with this one, what I could do is I could have this one, my Othala, which is my wisdom that is passed down through ancestry and is inherited. And I could take my protection symbol and I could just do a line coming out of the top of my Othala with the two coming off of it. So it would just be the Othala with a line going through it and then the three at the top, if that makes sense. It's been a little while. Yes, I was just about to say ask Stephanie because she keeps really good records. Yeah, but you're not pigeonholed just to using symbols that are traditional. Like I said, you can use any symbols that really resonate with you, that have meaning to you, and you can use those to create your own specific sigil. And that makes it more personal. It also makes it so that if you were using it for things like, let's say, protection, if you were worried about a specific threat, and you didn't want anybody to be able to decipher your sigil, that would make it inherently harder for somebody to try to counteract that, or for anything to counteract that. All right, so Muffy, how would you like to pick your card? If you have a number, we can do by number. So for things like protection, prosperity, abundance, if you're thinking mostly toward physical, I would do the frame or the actual door to your home, your entryway. It's a portal. And if you only want to make sure that the good and the best that's meant for you comes through it, I would do it there. There are different ways to do it. So if you rent, for example, you can't necessarily go carving or painting permanent things onto your door, but what you can do is you can take a piece of paper tape, masking tape, and you can write or draw your sigil onto that, and then place the tape across the top of your door. So when you open your door and the top of it is exposed, you can place the tape over it, or you can likewise open your door and then place the tape going across the top of the frame. Hi, Shauna. Number 14. 28 is fine, actually. So maybe 28 is calling to you because on the 28th of February, there is going to be a day of non-compliance. I will be taking part in it. And for the 24 hours of the 28th, there will be no purchasing of any goods from large corporations or businesses or online venues. It will be a day of just abstaining from spending money with certain institutions. So maybe that's why you picked up on that number, Muffley, because that is coming up and that is going to be an important day for me. All right, 28th card. Let's see what you got, my darling. Absolutely, Lucy. All right, let's see what Mufti got. 8 of Wands, but in reverse. So this is Mufti's card. So this is the action number of the tarot deck. 8 is kicking into gear and taking steps necessary to get you to the end of whatever it is that you're working on, whatever journey you're on. Your wand card is, it's symbolic of fire energy. So this is passion, motivation, things that you feel very strongly about. They ignite fire within you. It can also point to fire signs of the zodiac. So that'd be Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. But in the reverse makes me feel like it's more a physical situation, like an actual step not being taken in a certain direction that you feel very strongly about. So I'm going to ask you to take time to kind of reflect on it and figure out what step it is that you might be apprehensive about taking, and figure out how you can move forward with it. It's okay to take breaks on your path and your journey. Everybody needs a break once in a while. It's just important that we don't stop altogether. So it looks like what you've started, you are being nudged gently to try to finish or to pursue. No, small businesses should not be affected. It's more targeted at certain, okay, I don't want to say names, but the rainforest is one of them. The Mart of Wall is another one. These are all businesses that are known to be very active in our politics. Okay, so Amazon, Walmart, think large brands and companies. I'm glad I was able to help you with that, sweetheart. Okay, yeah, so we're basically boycotting all major corporations and companies on that day. Small business, like I said, should not be affected. It's basically the big fish we're trying to pull all our money from on that day. So 24 hours of no giving the big guy any cash. And we want this to be as big a movement as possible. So if some of my friends over in the UK are willing to help us out and, you know, do your best to abstain from ordering anything from those places on the 28th. I understand if you can't, but if you can, we appreciate it. All right, Lucy, darling, do you have a number in mind that you'd like to pick from the deck? Number 11. All right, and now's the time to really start thinking if you have anything that you would like answered, if you have a situation that you would like some guidance on. Now's the time to really focus on that. This is more my jam. Oh, guys, you hear the rhythmic beats and the drums in the background? This is perfect. This is my mojo. I'm gonna have to figure out what this song is. Star that. All right, 11th card. So my dear Lucy has not asked us any questions, which we like. That's how we do things. We like double blind readings to make sure that everything is accurate, genuine, and authentic. So you got the Temperance card, dear Lucy. Temperance is when your spirits around you are letting you know that you're going to need to exercise extra patience. This is a card that pops up when we're either being told that we need to calm down and be patient, or we're being told that we're going to need to exercise patience coming up. My readings are usually good for anywhere between 6 months to a year from the date that you get them. So if you're not currently going through a situation where patience is a definite virtue for you, then that means it will happen within that time. But you see here in the card, there is a angelic figure standing above or hovering above a body of water. Water is being transferred back and forth between two cups in his hands. So this is telling you to try to save your energy, not really pour too much of it out, kind of, if you can, be focused about how you balance your energy and your emotions, not to let them spill over into anything, if that makes sense. So there may be some trial, there may be a little tribulation attached to that. There generally is some sort of obstacle to overcome when you get that card, be it a physical or non-physical obstacle, but there's usually something challenging that feels like it's in the way. when that card pops up. So I hope that that gave you some clarity. I hate telling people to be patient because I know it doesn't feel good to be told you need to be patient. It's kind of just our reptilian part of our brain is like, patience, boo. But I do hope that that was in some way helpful for you. I feel like Gidget right now with the beach theme music. One second, guys. There we go. Oh, that's so much better. Instant relief. Okay. So yeah, I have done 2 readings, so that means I have 8 more for anybody who is interested. Yeah, so it's based solely off of what you were thinking at the time that I was shuffling the deck. When I tell you that now is the time for you to think about it, what I'm doing is I'm asking you to hold energy, and then I'm attempting to tap into your energy, and then the answer comes through the deck. So you are putting out a signal, I'm receiving your signal, and then it's being transferred into the deck, and that's how I get the card that you need, if that makes sense. It's the best way I know how to describe it. So the whole reason that I tell you guys to let me know that you want a reading is because when you say that you want one, it's a form of permission for me to tap into your energy, because I have a certain ethical code. I will not do that for people unless they want me to, unless they give me permission to. Otherwise, it feels sort of like I'm invading your privacy, because sometimes your emotions also affect your thought. So in a way, it's almost like I'm trying to, it feels like if I'm doing that to you, then I'm trying to get in your head without you knowing or your permission. So that's why I always ask you guys to say something in the chat to let me know that you are willing to give me permission to do that for you. Permission, consent, privacy, these are all things that are very important to me because of what I do for my ministry, which this is a gray area, because I do accept payment for this, but I don't accept payment for all of my ministry transactions. So like, I will accept payment for presiding over certain rituals, marriages, births, celebrations of life, anointments, which I guess for the Christians in the room would fall into the category of like a baptism or a christening. But there are other things that I won't take money for. So like mediumship, I won't take money for that. Thank you. So this I did get off the rainforest. Amazon. Sorry, I got to get used to that. So this I did get off of Amazon. This was fairly reasonable. I think it was under $10, and they are made from PVC, which means that they will last me a very long time. I can cleanse and anoint them with waters and oils. I can shuffle them, and they are resistant to creasing and folding. So I will get a good long time out of these. You know, I've not paid attention to things like that in a while. So maybe you are picking up on that, Mufti, and I'm not, because my brain seems to get hyper focused on certain messages that come through every once in a while. So if I'm getting a lot of numerical code, I will pick up on that. If I'm getting a lot of color coding, I will pick up on that, and I will stay focused on colors and numbers for a long time. And then, yeah, so this is what, Canon and D. And this is a song that is played at weddings. And I just was telling you about how some of the things that I do for my spiritual service and my ministry include weddings. So yeah, maybe the music is trying to send me some messages. Honestly, there is no difference. The one key thing that makes the difference is whether that person is really allowing me or is really open to the reading. That's literally the only difference. So I've had people that I was close to who I've read for, and they blocked me, and I could feel that they were blocking me, which is kind of a mind fuck on a whole nother level, because you wouldn't expect that from somebody that knows you. If somebody you know comes to you and says, I would like a reading, or says, I'll take a reading, you expect them to be open to it. But I have had people that I know who were not open to it, and I could feel that they were not open to it. I have had people who I don't know at all. It's the first time they've seen me alive, and they've been very open. Like, I'm not going to say that there's such a thing as too open, but there is such a thing as a little too open. Like, they were using the same energy that I would ask somebody to use during a medium session in their, like, they said they wanted cards, but in their heart of hearts, they wanted more. And they weren't saying that, but I could feel that, because I could literally feel things being drawn in that I was not expecting at the time, because I was not expecting to do that. I love synchronicity. I do. That's practically my tagline, is I love a good synchronicity. So it is nice and calming after that whole wipeout thing, though. It's a nice change. Yes. Yeah. Also, when people are not really open to their reading, but they choose a card based on sight, that's a big one. So let me tell you about that one. There are times I'm trying to turn this down a little bit because I feel that it's loud. Is that not the right button? That is so weird. It would not let me adjust the volume until I had my screen unlocked. Okay. So picking your card by sight, if you're not really open to a reading, what will happen is that you will get possibly the same exact card that the person before you got. And that's a way of me being told, like, this person is not gelling. Like, they're not going with the flow. They're not open. It's almost like, I don't want to say that the universe is petty. I don't want to say that at all. But it's almost kind of like getting a, yeah, it's on par with that. It has to, because it has some tones in it that are a little bit like ting, ting, ting for me, and I needed that to, yeah. I won't say that she's petty. I won't say that the universe is petty at all, but it will tell you exactly how it feels about certain situations when it comes to energy work. So I'm not surprised, especially when somebody says they want to do it by sight. I'm like, oh, this person's gonna pick a random card and it's gonna probably be the same card I picked up last time because, you know, they're not into it. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, there are some very petty behaviors. But think about it this way. How petty is it to be in a live where somebody is offering to do something that they normally charge for free, right? And you take an opportunity to get that service, but then you purposely do something to sabotage it? Think about how petty that is. So the law of attraction states that whatever frequency you are vibing at, whatever you are giving your attention to, whatever you are embodying is what you will bring to you. She wants to provide a message. What's it called? Not sure I understand your question. Can you try posing that a different way? Relate? Is that the word you're thinking of? I don't know, that song's over. Now I have Ayurvedic Tantra going on, and I actually, this feels good to me right now. But I did start talking about law of attraction, so maybe that's why it switched. And my tablet stopped working, probably because the screen is not on. I know it does that, it times out. Raga Shri. Vinayak, come on. Vinayak Vora. That's what's playing right now. Where You Stand, this one that was playing. I mean, the name of the song does make sense because I was talking about where you are energetically, so Kirsty, can I get a card, please? Absolutely. Yeah, it's I don't know who, I didn't get that part, but I know it's called Where You Stand. But it is very ironic that that was the name of it, and I was literally talking about your energetic condition at the moment. So yeah, maybe I should spend more time listening to the radio today. Kirsty, what card would you like me to pull for you, sweetheart? And actually, Kirsty, if you want a full reading, I will give you a full reading on the house. So split stack in half. All right, that can be your first card. Let me know if you want two more, and I'll pull two more for you. So here's our bottom stack. Okay. You got the Hermit card. So this is introspection. This is going within. This is kind of a cutting off of the outer world, pulling away from society. So this card tells me that this is what you need to understand is happening right now with you, that you may not feel enticed to really take part in what's going on in the world around you at the moment, and that's perfectly understandable. Nobody's judging you for that. But based on where you are, I can see that as being a complete and total valid way to feel. Yes. Would you like me to pick 2 more cards? Because I feel like that was an easy given. I feel like they're being super gentle with you today. Thank you so much, Stephanie. I appreciate you. So if you want, hon, I can pick 2 more cards for you, because I feel like that one was kind of a given. 10 and 21. Do you want me to pick them the same way, split in half from the bottom? All right, so just count to 10 and then count to 21. All right, 10th card. Set that aside. And the 21st card. Okay, so no surprise. A physical world pause in your journey. Your journey through the physical currently seems to have come to a pause. You are a knight, so in this card, you have been on this journey before. It is not something new. It is something that you have been on for a long time and you've gained experience with. And it is a card of the Pentacle, so relating to the physical world. So a pause in your physical journey. And then the 4 of Swords, and this is also in the reverse. So when you get this card, you're feeling not so stable. 4 is a stable number. It's 4 corners, easy to build a foundation on. In this case, that 4 is not where it should be. It's an air card, so Swords. This is communication, thoughts, planning. So maybe not feeling like you are able to plan or able to think straight right now. Sort of like a clouded feeling in the head. And I think, like I said, taking your time and processing your feelings, you know, utilizing that hermit mode for yourself, you can take the time to kind of come back to yourself, regain your processes, and yeah, just take your time, okay? Don't be hard on yourself. Take your time. And I'm sorry if I start crying because I'm feeling teary-eyed. What? The empath is picking up on emotions? No way. But thank you so much for letting me read for you, darling. I really appreciate it. That it is an honor to be able to read for you guys. It's a privilege to be able to have your permission to tap into your energy. and I really appreciate it. So yeah, rest. Rest as you need to, and then proceed. I know it gets I know that emotion is something that is going to be dealt with whenever I'm doing this, so I've gotten used to it. I apologize if I, you know, make you uncomfortable, because at this point I don't really get uncomfortable anymore. I've had everything from blind fits of rage to crying like you know, like I've lost something, yeah, or somebody, like, yeah, I've run the gamut in emotions. I've had moments where I felt paranoid or jealous for no reason. Well, that's my hope. My hope is to not make people uncomfortable, especially you, especially in this moment. So I'm happy if you're happy. Well, if you feel good about it. Thank you. I've already been on for an hour. That went pretty quickly. It didn't feel like an hour. So I'm only gonna do like my hour 30, because I do want Stephanie to get a chance to go live, and I don't want her to have any excuses not to. So I'm gonna make sure I don't go over my time, because I want her to have plenty of opportunity. And I know you guys probably only have so much time to hang out, but if you do have the opportunity to hang out and hang with us some more, I will be in the chat. I will be, you know, adoring her from afar in the cheap seats. Nah, that's not how I work. Besides, Stephanie is my muscle. So if you misbehave, you deal with Stephanie. She strong arms people. She's my enforcer. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, I don't really have too many taboos. Don't ask your questions out loud, which is not the same thing as don't have a question. You're not mean, you boundary up a little bit better than I do, and that's okay. So that, and what else is a taboo? We don't want you to ask your questions out loud, which is not the same thing as not having a question. You are allowed to have a question, just not ask it out loud. And I know there's one more. Oh, you have to pick your card. That's it. Pick your card and don't ask your question. It's that easy. Yeah, do you like Sir Sniffsaw over here? Look at that. Count Sobek. Say hi. He's getting used to the whole familiar thing. He doesn't have it down yet. See, why is it that when people say that about certain people that they're scary, I never see it. I never see that about people. I always hear somebody say, oh, so-and-so is scary. But I never see that about them. Say hi. Cone of shame. Hi, baby. He's not used to the makeup yet. He still thinks it's kind of weird that I do this. Yeah, you'll get used to it. Yeah, good boy. You gonna go down? You gonna go on the floor? Yeah, he's beautiful. And he knows it. He wields that power, man. No, it's not so much that he's upset. As far as the cone goes, he's not upset. He's confused. He's very confused because he doesn't understand the need for it. I need a big cup because I like to fill this thing like, you know, up to here. This is actually a soup cup. This is meant for like chowders and stews and soups, but I use it for coffee and tea. Today we are using the herbal concoction that I make. It's all natural. There's nothing in here that's necessarily psychedelic. I mean, you would have to like in large quantities a specific herb. I think they actually had a trend, I think it might have been on here at one point, where people were like swallowing large quantities of a certain herb to try to induce some sort of reaction. Yeah, he's not really upset. He's just confused because every once in a while I actually take the cone off to allow him to groom himself to a certain extent. Supervised, obviously. Because he needs that. He's a cat. He needs to be able to take care of himself. They are by nature independent. So he needs that every once in a while. The dragonfly? So, it's from the company that I bought a lot of my herbs from recently. They actually sell these. They had this one, and I think the other one was a butterfly or something. I don't know. I can't remember what the other one was. My husband saw it at the checkout, and he grabbed it and brought it home for me. Yeah, because this isn't technically tea, the base of this is actually mugwort. It's really heavy on mugwort as a base with added spices and herbs to it. So because there's not actually any tea, the caffeine I don't think is actually that high, but this is more just a blend of herbs that I feel like actually has a lightening effect for me. Like I feel like it helps kind of tune me in. Herbal, because we don't say the H. We don't say herbal. Herbal. We only say herb if it's a name. Otherwise, it's herb. You only say herb if it's a person. Affiliate? Like who? It has to be something I actually... Okay. I had this problem with TikTok. I can only do affiliations for things I genuinely believe or resonate with. Like, I can't just... For anything. Like, you're not gonna see me doing that kind of thing for any product. It has to be... Like, if the company that I buy my herbs from has a thing on here, I would gladly affiliate for them. That company that makes territorial decks, I would gladly do it for them, or any other, you know, tarot company, as long as they were ethical. I would do that. See, I would stay away from my specific deck. I'm going to have to get an actual territorial deck, because then I could actually use their link and it would make sense. But I wouldn't, this didn't come from them, but I actually would prefer, yeah, I stay away from the random nonsense. I like to only stick to things that I feel good about. Yeah, well, I mean, dragonfly and spirituality, I don't think I really have to describe the meaning of that, but I felt like it was interesting that my husband picked that one in particular. I'm trying to remember what the other one was. I thought it was butterfly, but it wasn't. It was something else because my husband was like, oh, but I didn't think you'd want that one. And I can't for the life of me remember. It might have been an animal. And he was like, but I felt like you would want that one. I was like, and you picked right. You know your wife. But he also has been known to go to random like crystal stores, metaphysical stores, and find things and bring them back to me all on his own. So the amber necklace is one of them. He did it with my cauldron. Yes, I have a cauldron. And it's heavy. So he did it with this as well. He has done it with a bunch of different things. He just walks into a store and is like, she needs that, and then brings it home. Well, that's my other cauldron. So here's the thing. Not everything that goes into a cauldron is necessarily going to be edible. So it's important that you keep separate the stuff that you use for workings with things that are not edible or things that you would not want to ingest, separate from what you use to make food. So if I'm doing working with like hair, any type of like bio waste, this could be anything from like hair to nail clippings, anything like that. If I'm doing things like that, I'm not putting it in my food pot. I'm gonna do it in that cast iron pot and keep it separate. Correct. But if you start putting crystals in for the workings, like quartz, you really shouldn't eat quartz. Not a good idea. That goes in the cauldron. But if I'm making teas, soups, elixirs, things to be ingested, that goes into my regular cooking pot. I told Stephanie. Stephanie's the only person that I've ever told how I met my husband. She knows how I met my husband. Right, you could, physically you could do it. Would you feel good afterward? No. No, you would not. It's not suggested. I don't endorse it. I don't endorse using crystals for cookware or eatware. I don't. Forbidden sugar cubes. Yeah, no, you don't. I don't even wear Bumblebee Jasper. So that should tell you something. I don't wear it. Like, I will not make jewelry with it. So if I don't think it's fit to be on the outside of the skin, that should tell you how I would feel about it being inside. It's a no-no. Malachite also, not something you want to put in your tea or anything that you plan on drinking. That's a no-no. Pyrite, you don't want to do that either. Yeah. All right, so on the subject of stirring things, I saw an ad for, it was like Still Bite coffee stirrers. Yeah, I saw an ad for that. Definitely won't be doing any promotionals for that thing. I love Stephanie. She does so much for me. She keeps me honest. She brings in some relief sometimes, comedic or you know, just otherwise. She's very, 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 very much my support system when I'm on here doing these things. Hats off to Stephanie. I love you so much. I appreciate all of you for being here today with me, though. That means a lot. I know some of you cannot partake in the readings, and that makes you being here even more special, because you are not here specifically to, you know, I know that you're here because you really want to be here at that point. One or the other. It wasn't harassing. It was just like slightly aggressive nudging. But that's okay. I did need the change, to be honest. So, and with all the other stuff that's going on with the other app, like between, it probably doesn't have that much time left on it, and there's always constantly some like new drama involved with it. It's kind of like whatever. Yes, Shauna, I was specifically talking about you. Thank you for being here. I know you can't really, I know you know what I look like, so you have it in your mind, but other people might not. They might be like, she's crazy. Because I know this doesn't appeal to most people as beauty. This is not socially accepted standard of beauty. Oh, don't be sad. I feel beautiful like this, though. I feel very comfortable like this. If this were socially acceptable, I probably wouldn't show up any other way. Although, slight changes, because I don't wear the same runes for every situation, so there would probably be a little bit of a rune change. But certain things would stay. So like the mask and the lips. I appreciate that. The runes, yes, the runes are Norse, but the band on the eyes is actually more a nod to indigenous culture. I try to pay homage to everybody. Also the whitening of the face. Because I'm like the whole face, not just kind of parts of it. I appreciate that. That's why I chose the bird form, because I feel like they really do suit me. Messengers, a uncanny sort of knowing things. It's something that resonates, and then to boot, they're everywhere I go. It doesn't matter if I'm going for a short trip to the store or if I'm like out for a day trip. The longer I'm out, the more I'll see of them, but they're always there. There's always a crow or some type of, you know, corvid somewhere around me in my vicinity. They make themselves known. Even when I went to get little Mr. over here neutered, they made an appearance. We were standing in line waiting to drop him off, and one flew overhead. So, sort of like saying, like, you know, you're doing what's best for him. Right. It's funny, I've actually had some issues with doves in the past. Hi, Lou. How are you? Welcome in, sweetheart. Let me know if you want your card done. I still have some available. I know how you mean that, so I really appreciate it, Shauna. I really do. It's like I had said in your live the other night. God concept, God energy is something that is within all of us. It's just that some people I feel like work extra hard to not let that part of themselves be acknowledged. Yeah. And they don't like to be bored. They like to have stimuli. And then I know most people be like, well, how come you don't paint a cat on your face? Because you have a lot of cats. Because they're like walking crystals. I think everybody should have a cat. And I'm allergic. I take allergy pills so that I can have my cats. So I really do believe everybody should have a cat. Because they are wonderful to have in the home. They are little energy gateway keepers, and they can suss out different vibes from different people in different areas. They are guardians and protectors of the home. So I feel like it takes more effort to try to not be that energy. Isn't that from Aristocrats? Aristocats? All right, well, if he's deathly allergic, then I understand that situation. I'm not talking about... I would not suggest that. I do not condone keeping people around things that they are that allergic to. Boys, come on. Come on, look at him. Really? Okay. So, the boys don't know why he's wearing a cone. So, I think they think he's a different cat. So they get very upset when he tries to go near them with the cone. I think they think that the cone means something bad. And I feel bad for him because he has to be by himself. But hopefully the cone will be coming off in a few days. He seems to be healing very well. I basically can't even see his incision sites anymore already. So the cone, I think, will be taking off in 2 days. Yes, it is in fact the cone of shame. And he doesn't know why he has it, because he doesn't think there's anything wrong with him. My poor baby. Are you sad they won't play with you? Oh, I'm sorry. He's like, Mom, they're picking on me. Outdoor cat is an option. Just make sure that they're spayed, neutered, up to date on their shots, dewormed regularly, because being outside does mean that they tend to get things like fleas and worms more often. So as long as you keep up with that stuff. I've seen people put out like cute little cat houses and everything on their porches when they have cats that they can't bring in the house. But definitely make sure you wash your hands after you pet it. Don't bring that into the house. Gotcha. Sorry guys, I got an instant message. You're fine. Yeah, Pickle did start as an outdoor cat. That is true. I was obsessed with Pickle for the longest time. I was waiting for her to have those babies. They are so cute. I'm glad I hung in there to be able to see the outcome. I mean, I didn't watch her give birth, but it's nice to see the babies. It's a cute family. All right, so I have about 20 minutes left. So if anybody would like a reading, let me know. Oh, yes, okay. So these are from Lou. This is a beautiful carnelian, which I was surprised actually fit my finger. I thought I was gonna have to adjust it, but I didn't. And then the other one is, I don't know if you, can you see that it's a cat? Maybe if I hold it like this, can you see the kitty? I can't remember what this was, what stone this was. But what I love about it, because I love a good synchronicity, I'm gonna take it off. Black strawberry quartz. So it's almost like a grayish color. If I hold it against something white, you can see it's like a grayish color, right? And I ordered this like, what, a month before I ended up getting Sobek, who's gray. I love how that worked out. All right, so warning guys, I'm gonna be doing a reading for Lou, and I'm only saying that for the one person in the room that I know can't be here for that. So Lou, yes, how would you, what number would you like me to pick for you, babe? $32. Ooh, you're pulling a Stephanie on me today. Stephanie usually asks for the really high cards. I like it, keeps me on my toes. All right, so think about anything you need clarity on. Think about any questions you might have. Hold on to that energy for me. Really focus on it. All right, number 32. Let's see what you got. Ooh, 4 of Wands. So this is fire energy, ambition, passion, things that you feel very strongly about. 4 is a stable card, building foundations. You see there's an arbor, and underneath there are 2 people, and they look like they are celebrating. They are brought together under that arbor. So this could be pointing out some type of partnership, or the bringing together of parts of something to create, but definitely centered around something that you're ambitious about, something that you feel passionate about. So I don't know if you've been contemplating maybe working on a joint project, or if you've been thinking about like maybe adding a different component, bringing something in, but like building on something. It can also apply to fire energy, like zodiac, but this seems more like an actual, okay, so it was in the upright position, so take that as like a green light, a yes, because I feel like you need to hear that. Like you need to hear yes or go. Your question was something related to, should I go for it? Am I moving in the right direction? So take that as a green card, a green light card. And then Stephanie, you are next. I'm glad I was able to help you, Lou. $63. 63. Okay, girl, start thinking about whatever it is now. I felt like you, I just felt like insurance or reassurance or assurance was like, I don't know if you thought that word to yourself, like I need reassurance or I'd like reassurance, but that was what was going through my head. Oh, Kirsty, thank you. I appreciate you being here, love. All right, Stephanie. We're gonna start counting them out. Might get an extra card. All right, 63. So you have an additional card to go along with your initial pick. Because it popped out before, I'm going to go ahead and read that. All right. So the first card All right, so the first card that we got was the Eight of Cups. So a lot of emotional energy. This is the action card, but it is in reverse. So action not being taken in something to do with emotion or something that you're tied to emotionally heavily that you're not taking action on. Also can be related to cups. As far as like water signs. So I don't know if there's something that you have going on between you and a water sign that needs to be worked on. But there's something that needs to be worked on because you're close to getting somewhere with it. You're just not taking the last step. That's needed to really catapult you in that direction. Knight of Wands card is the card that you got with your pick. So this is being on a journey, something you've been doing for a while. You've picked up a lot of experience and knowledge along the way. You're not new at all in this. You are moving forward. It's something that you feel really passionate and ambitious about. So continue in that direction with that one. I'm curious to figure out what this one means. So some other things that we can infer from this, if this was in the upright position, you'd notice that there's a moon, there's a waterway, a person making their way across the water. So the moon is usually tied to our emotions, particularly those that we don't pay enough attention to. And then the person making the trip across the water, obviously making it to the other side, is taking the action, taking the steps. So, yeah, all I can say is that just not taking the last leg of that journey for whatever reason, and something most likely related to emotion or something that you feel emotional about. And then continuing on your journey in the things that you feel ambitious and passionate about. So yeah, I would say that that's a good read. You only got slightly told off, and it was a pretty gentle telling off. Okay, hun, enjoy. So that leaves me, okay. So that means I still have 5 reads left, if anybody would like one. But I think everybody here's probably had a reading already. Sometimes the cards are a little spicier. I was honestly worried today it was going to be a very spicy day. I don't know why, but I thought it would be. Maybe it's because of that thing from earlier, but I don't know. I had it in my head that it might be a spicy day. But to be fair, I have not done a personal reading for myself yet. So avoid any judgment at this point in time. I keep thinking that I can push on things and see things. I am not there. I need to really acclimate to this site. So yeah, I have like 2 minutes left. Probably not going to meet my full 10. I put off my own readings often. That is not a surprise. Should not be a surprise. I've been so caught up in letting myself be drawn to things that speak to me that I know don't really make much sense. Just my intuition being like, this is where your focus needs to be. So yeah, I haven't really done a reading for myself. You know what? Let's just go ahead and do that. I'll do a reading for myself publicly. I mean, I do readings for you guys publicly all the time. So let's do a reading for myself. Let's see what the cards have in store for me. And this is something I don't usually do either. I don't usually do my card pulls for myself online. But it's all about getting into a new state of mind anyway. So let's see. 1, 3. All right. So first card. And second card. Yeah, I kind of deserve it though. If you think about it, if I'm purposely putting off my own readings, then I kind of deserve what I get. All right, so what do I need to see? 9 of Pentacles, so close to the end of a physical journey, so close that I can reach out and touch it, but I'm stalling. And that is true, but I'm stalling with purpose because right now, astrologically speaking, is not a good time to make certain moves. So I'm biding my time, and probably within like a week or 2 from now, I will be making that step. So they are making me acknowledge that. I am putting it off, but I have my reasons. Strength. This has been something that I have been utilizing a lot lately. So something I need to understand is that I am strong. I am stronger than I realize. I need to pull off of the strengths that I have leaned on in the past to be able to get through the times ahead. And Page of Cups, I am going to be given the opportunity in the future to instill a lesson or teaching, to act as a role model or to lead in something that is emotionally very heavy or has to do with change. So, yeah. Stephanie might get some of that. You can give me your thoughts on that later. But I am so happy that you guys were able to hang out with me. I appreciate it so much. My time is up. I am going to make way for the beautiful Stephanie. She will be going live herself. I will be hanging out in the chat, keeping her company. Feel free to hang out with us if you have the time. If you don't, then we'll catch you later. But thank you so much for being here with me, guys. I really appreciate you all. Bye.